Good night. It is January 9, 2025. I said 2020. 2020? 2025. It's a Thursday. Still, not for much longer, but it's still a Thursday. Here in Sherbrooke, it is currently -8 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cold. Not as cold as it has been recently, but it's still cold. I'd say objectively. I think most people would agree. Though I guess it's not what objectively means, but let's agree that it's cold. The sun this morning rose at 7:26 a.m. It's set at 4:23 p.m. Still too early for my tastes, however. It's 8 hours and 57 minutes of sunlight today. I'm making a conscious... I just did it. I'm making a conscious effort to not say all the time. Look back at some previous weather reports, and I've noticed this over the past couple of years that I've been doing the weather reports that I do a lot of I don't realize it. I'm trying to stop doing that. Today, I didn't have a very turbocharged day. There are some things that have been stressing me out, which is getting messages for one, it's for a couple of gigs that I don't want to do, theater gigs. I really don't want to do. But I said 2 days ago, I told the director of the theater company that I would get back to her yesterday at the latest. Oh, I didn't yet, and I have to respond to her. I'm just like this in this position where like I don't have a steady 40-hour-a-week job, which is something that I believe that I need for my mental health and for my finances, which also influences my mental health. But I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to find a job. I could find a job, but like I'm not going to be able to find a job that I think is bearable, and I might not find a job, or I might find a job in time. So I'm in this difficult position where, like, do I take these contracts that are proposed, that are offered to me, because winter is, especially the month of January, is very, very difficult for people who do the work that I do. I'm a lighting person, sound person, stagehand, all that goes along with that. And yeah, there's not much work in January. And everybody has sort of an existential crisis that I know, pretty much, unless you're like salaried at a place. And so, but anyway, I've definitely wanted to pivot away from this for quite some time. I'm not good at being an independent contractor. I'm also not like particularly good at my job. I'm okay. I'm pretty good at some stuff, but mainly I would say I'm mediocre. However, I show up and I work hard, which goes a long way. So I'm just stuck in this place where it's like either I put my foot down, which I believe is what I want to do and will be the healthiest for me, and just say, I'm going to disappoint some people and say no, and just be honest and say that I'm going to find a job, a normie-ass job. But I also don't know what that's going to look like or when that's going to be, and so I'm getting offers for contracts in February, one of which would pay a decent part of my rent. I love doing it. It's lighting for improvised contemporary dance. And I love working with this company and the company's director. And he texted me today and I didn't respond. The other gigs, I just have to say no. But it's difficult to say no because it's like, okay, so it's gonna be like what, like $100 max, maybe $150 for both gigs. It's not that good. It's not very many hours, but it's not that good. But can I say no to $100 at this point if I don't know what the future is going to look like? Today, I don't know if it's a law. I think it's a law here in Quebec, at least, where if your bank account has less than $100 in it, the bank, I believe, is required to advise you that you have less than $100 in your bank account. I got that email today, and I also got like $730 or $35 for a couple months of janitorial work. Like a lot of days that I just didn't make invoices for. And then I've got some other invoices to do. In any case, money came in. So I had like, you're fucking broke and you have enough money to survive in the same day. I'm very stressed out about money. And so logically, given that this is a source of, at this point, constant anxiety in my life, just getting a job. And I think I could just get a job quite easily. I think that's what be the best decision for me. But that means disappointing people. Especially since I told the director of the dance company that does contemporary dance, that was going to be a backup for some stuff. I won't get into it, but that would be an amazing experience, but as a backup. So I need to be not fully employed in some normie job to be able to be there for those needs. The point is, that's been stressing me out. But I went to the gym with my friend. And we didn't go as hard as we did the past 2 days, but it felt really good. Some running, listen to the band Wombo, which I won't be talking about today, but I probably will in a... Was it a at the end of the in? Not sure. In a future video. I like Wombo a lot. And then we did legs. Went on the leg machines after the cardio. But we didn't do as much cardio. I was having some stomach issues. My stomach was hurting. And I had some run-of-the-mill diarrhea earlier that day. So we did a bit of cardio, a few minutes of cardio and left. Then I went to play Magic the Gathering tonight. First night with mono red prowess, mono red since I'm running green for the sideboard and also for mutagenic growth, which I could just pay 2 life for. It's Phyrexian mana that it costs. Game 1, I won. Or match 1? Yeah, match 1. Game 1, doesn't really matter. I'm really unsure about the nomenclature still for game versus match. First opponent I won, but it was pretty close. He was playing sort of like flash creature deck, not a meta deck by any stretch. Fun deck though, which I believe he played last time I was there at the LGS, but it was close. Ended up winning 2-1. Then I played against somebody who I'd never seen before. He was playing Eldrazi's. I got my ass handed to me. Especially in game 2, where I got frustrated, which I try not to be, frustrated. Because it's a fucking game, and I'm an adult person. But I hadn't eaten sufficiently today. I still have not eaten sufficiently today. I hadn't smoked a cigarette yet. And so game 1, he beat me. I forgot how exactly. Then game 2, he brought in Unlicensed Hearse. I'd heard about this card, but I never seen it or thought about it. It's basically tap 2 and exile 2 cards from my graveyard. In game 1, he did Kozilek's Command, and I'd forgotten that Kozilek's Command, because it does fucking everything. I hate that card. It's a good card. I just don't play Eldrazi decks, so I don't play it, but... he exiled my Arclight Phoenixes with that. So I took the Phoenixes out. I was like, I'm just going to try something funky and just take the Phoenixes out. And then... but I still have Dragon's Rage Channeler and Underworld Breach. So, a graveyard-focused deck. And then he brings out Unlicensed Hearse. And just keeps exiling all the cards from my graveyard. It was a tough matchup. Oh, yeah, and then I kept a hand that was sort of sketchy. However, I had a Blood Moon. And he had some basics in his deck, so I hadn't seen him though, but it would have been maybe not great, but it would have slowed him down. So my strategy was like, fuck it, fuck my graveyard. I'm just going to Blood Moon, turn 3, and beat him down with the prowess creatures. And then turn 3. No, his turn 2. His turn 1, Thoughtseize me, and... no, his turn 2, Thoughtseize me, take away my Blood Moon. And it's like... oh no, it wasn't Thoughtseize, it was his turn 2... Thought Not Seer, that's it. I got Thoughtseize in another game. Thought Not Seer makes me discard a card, discard my Blood Moon. Got nothing. So I got a bit frustrated. And I'm just, because I'm anxious generally, I'm afraid that he thought that I was the kind of person who gets frustrated like often. I'm like the kind of person who gets frustrated. It happens to me rarely. Then I went to smoke a cigarette and I felt better. I also ate a piece of cheese between the first and second matches. And then match number 3 was against Energy. And I was playing against Mardu Energy. Although I did mess up in game 2. My opponent would have won anyway. He's a very good player. He's going to the regionals. In any case, I have some slight adjustments to my sideboard. I'm going to add a Collector Oof. Just, so one person plays Affinity, so just nice to counter, to make artifacts not be able to activate their abilities, to mitigate graveyard hate, and then I think I'm taking all the moon effects out. I'm going to put another pick of Poison, another Meltdown. I only have 2 Meltdowns. So I'll go against Enchantment and artifact-based graveyard hate, and I still have 3 surgical extractions, which is good. It's a good card. I love surgical extraction. So, anyway, that's the Magic the Gathering part. And then my friends. So, one of my friends was doing an open mic at a local cafe. And I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to go because of Magic. I ended up leaving before the end, because one person was playing Martyrs, and so all 3 matches were going to time and beyond. Anyway, but anyway, I did 1-3, so I wasn't going to get any credit or anything, or a promo pack, just a promo card, which I don't necessarily need. And so I was able to get there on time. I was very anxious when I got there. However, I then learned that my other friend, she was going to be reading some poetry. And her poetry is amazing. She's an amazing performer as well. And I'd never seen my other friend's band play before. And he's a really good friend of mine who plays in the live version of Daniel Cowman. He's not been on any album yet, but he plays drums for Daniel Cowman, and I love him to bits. So I got to see him perform, and it was great. I got to see my other friend perform, and she was great. And yeah, I was really anxious, not my vibe. So it was good. I was really glad that I got to see my friends perform. I'm thinking today of I gotta finish this. It felt good to talk though. I'm thinking of the song I'm thinking of the song "Better Than Good" by the Bug Club. I don't know if that's a reference to the Gun Club, which is a fantastic band, and I highly recommend the Gun Club. But it's not the album version of "Better Than Good." It is the live on KEXP version. Because the album version, I believe, is underwhelming. It's sort of lo-fi, drum machine, very 90s lo-fi indie sort of vibe. The live version is blistering, anxious rock and roll. Everything's distorted, everything sounds great. Raging, fiery. Check it out. It's going to be the same temperature at the end of the day, since the day ends in 9 minutes. This has been long, but it felt good. I haven't been doing it for the past couple of days because I haven't been feeling like it. So I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, practice a song at the local music venue where I work, having a staff party on Saturday, and there's a sort of open mic talent show casual thing, just for fun. I'll be playing song "Honest" by Daniel Cowman with our bassist Miguel on bass and my other friend singing along with me. It's going to be fun. We need to practice a bit. So I'm going to do that. For the rest of the night, I got to make myself something to eat at some point. I have to eat. This is getting crazy. And then I'll finish the day. Everyone, have a great night.